Hey guys, it's Mark with Spiguyver Backpacking. Thank you for joining me today. I went on YouTube the other night, and as I was uploading a video, I saw that Jaxx Drinkwater had uploaded a new video, so I was going to look at it. And the video that he put up was the Frozen Hands Fire Challenge. So it's where you dunk your hands in a bucket of ice water for a minute or so until your hands lose a little bit of the dexterity, and then you try to start a fire. And so I was watching it and then saw that I got a post on Facebook, and Jaxx tagged me to do the same challenge. So that's what I'm up to today. I've got a bowl of ice water, lots of ice in there. It is cold. And then I've got my junk bag out of my backpack, and I figured one of the things with it is that you have to start a fire two ways with your frozen hands. So going into my bag here, I have cotton balls that are soaked in Vaseline, and these are things that are always in my bag for starting a fire. And then I've got a Ferro rod here. It's actually broken off. It's been used a few times, but it still works. And so this is going to be the basis of my first piece of this. So I'm going to go ahead, get everything set up. I actually did this last night. I actually already have done this once, but I was not impressed with the video quality. The audio wasn't quite right. So I went through, made sure the settings were what I wanted for this one, and now I'm going to redo it and put my hands through this all over again, just for you guys. So let me get everything set up. We'll come back and we'll do this. All right, so I have my bucket of ice water. I've put all my stuff down inside of my fire pit here in front of me. Because of the wind, it is pretty windy today. I wanted to make sure that I kept it a little bit out of the elements, a little bit blocked, so that it doesn't just all blow away as I'm sticking my hands in here for a minute. I've got 1 minute set on my phone, so I'm gonna hit start, throw my hands in here. I'm not gonna pan away while I'm doing this, just so you guys see what I'm doing. And then I've got my Ferro rod here. I'm gonna grab it and see if we can get this going. So here we go. Gonna start this. Oh, Jaxx. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate this. It'd be one thing if I hadn't done this last night. But I know how painful it is. You know, it's cold when you stick your hands in there. About 30 seconds in, it really starts to burn and hurt. Yeah, it's not fun. So we're about 30 seconds in now. Just gonna wait for that timer to go off. There's a lot of ice in here, plenty of water. My hands are completely submerged. They hurt. Dang. Okay. Anytime now. The wind is really whipping. So there we go. There's the minute. I'm gonna shut that off. Grab this thing. Got another camera set up over here, so normally it doesn't take this long. There we go. So as long as you've got some good feather sticks, some good small pieces of wood cut up, you can get it going pretty quick, as we can see here. So it didn't take me too long, a little longer than it took me yesterday to do it. But you know, it's still, I got it done, and now I can heat my hands up, because damn, that water is cold. I can't even feel that this is hot at this point. So there's one way. So trick is, now I've got to do it a second way. So that way was kind of the bushcraft way, if you will. Not that I'm really a bushcraft type of guy. You know, I've been trained. I've got some survival skills from my time in the military. However, I wouldn't consider myself a bushcraft person. I wouldn't consider myself the guy that goes out, builds the improvised shelters, tests myself that way. So Jaxx did it with a ferro rod and then flint and steel with a little bit of char cloth. Now, as long as you have something to catch the spark, char cloth, I used a cotton ball soaked in Vaseline. If you're out in the wilderness, there are different things you can find, different grasses that you can kind of rough up and make them a little bit fluffier. In a swampy setting, cattails are great. Kind of fluff those up and they'll catch a spark really well. There's a lot of stuff out there. If you take a look in your area, you can find the things that will start really well. Pine needles, grass, leaves, all these things you can kind of bundle up, rub them together to get them to have more surface area because they fray and they fall apart, and they'll catch the spark a lot easier. And then you just give a little bit of a blow on them and they can sometimes ignite really, really quickly. Using something that's prepared, you can go out and buy pieces. You can buy little survival kits that have things like what you can make. But if you've got Vaseline and cotton balls, you've got a really good source of tinder. And then it's just a matter of processing some wood to take the flame once you get it going. So that's the first way. I've got an idea for the second way. So let's take a break here. We'll come back and check that out. Okay, so method one is down. We got that. Showed that we can do it with freezing cold hands, loss of dexterity. If you were using a Bic lighter, that motion right there would be probably pretty tough. But if you've got something like a kitchen lighter that has a trigger, you could still do that pretty easily. You can definitely strike that. I think the flint and steel is a tough one. If you hit your fingers while they're that frozen, I think you're gonna find yourself in a little bit of pain. So my second try isn't gonna involve any of the stuff in my bag. It's more of a fun one. Let's see what we can do here. Let's get the timer set back up. Get the water off of there. Okay, I'm gonna start this, get my hands in there, and then you'll see what I'm gonna do. Yep, still just as cold. Okay. Turn the timer off. Let's do this. So there's lots of different ways to skin a cat. I like to enjoy sparklers, a little morning glory action here. You've got your fire pit sitting there, and it's just waiting. It's just waiting for some action. If I was closer, those sparks would probably land in there, get this thing going. So we'll wait. And that is how you do it. It's simple. So there you go, guys. It's you gotta have fun while you're out here doing this. It can't always be serious. I did use the Ferro rod and do it a legitimate way, but this was just a fun way to do it. I haven't seen anyone else do it that way yet, so there you go. Started a fire, pretty easy. A little bit of gasoline, a sparkler, a couple of sparks hitting it, and you got yourself a good roaring fire. Ice cold bucket of water. Stick your hands in there for a minute. You can see my hands are still a little bit red, just now thawing out. It's not that difficult, but I do have to nominate somebody. So Backcountry Exposure, you're up. You subscribe to my channel, you see what's going on, you watched this one, now it's your turn. Show us what you can do. Get out on the trail, enjoy a campfire, probably don't take any gasoline with you. Do it the right way. Be responsible, be safe. I'll see you guys down the trail. Thanks a lot, guys.